All right, y'all. It's about time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. Y'all already know my spiel. Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. Encourage others to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. This episode of Rashawn's About Time Boxing is sponsored by USA, that's United Staffing Agency. So if you're looking for gainful employment in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and now serving the Philadelphia area, you can contact United Staffing Agency at 215-779-8915. And we also this episode is also sponsored by Wayne Avenue Health Store. Guaranteed to serve all your health needs. They're located at 5007 Wayne Avenue. Phone number is 215-420-4302. If you live in the city of Philadelphia, they deliver locally. And if not, they ship worldwide. All right, so we're gonna get right into this one. So, and hopefully, I don't want to be too long, with this video, but the last video that I did, of course, I told you, I was at the Jaron Ennis fight, but my issue, the thing that I want to address is shitty nose is what I call him. He looked like his nose stink. Shawn Porter. I don't know why he called himself Showtime Shawn Porter, but this guy, he, once again now after Jaron Ennis, after his fight with Karen CHUKHADZHIAN, he said once again he's saying that Jaron Ennis is overrated. Now this is the same guy who keeps saying that Jaron Ennis is overrated when I believe still to date he only has 17 knockouts. He's 31. He has four losses. Well, realistically, 5 losses because he lost to Ugas, if you ask me. Ugas beat him in that fight, and they gave that fight to Shawn Porter. So that was a gimme fight. But we know he was stopped by Terrence Crawford, and that's probably why he retired, because he probably resented his father, for throwing in the towel and stopping that fight, and honestly, um, you know, his style, like I don't, his style, his style just gave the appearance that he was doing more than what he really was. He wasn't really doing nothing. He wasn't to me like a A minus or even an A or just a regular A or A minus or A plus fighter. When it came time to, you know, for all of the big fights to rise to the occasion, he couldn't get it done. He lost to Bud, he lost to Errol Spence, he lost to Kell Brook, he lost to Keith Thurman. But when you look at the people that he beat, some of y'all probably gonna say, well, you know, he fought Adrian Bruner, he beat Bruner. Listen, I said Bruner was overrated before he even fought Paul Malignaggi. Bruner was knocking out and stopping people at 140. When he fought Malignaggi, who still only got 7 knockouts to this day, and I told everybody, I said, if he can't stop Paulie, then but he beat Broner, but even though Broner dropped him in the fight, but Shawn Porter only beat Broner because Broner was too busy trying to mimic the second half of Floyd Mayweather's career. But the difference is he's not as smart as Floyd. He don't know how to set his shots up. He don't know how to set the traps. He don't know how to place the shots. He didn't. He just wasn't active enough. Same reason why. And honestly, when he fought Danny Garcia, even though he beat Danny, I think he only beat Danny because if you look at his face, Danny probably was having mental health issues in that fight, and Danny just wasn't being active enough. And Shawn Porter comes in with his head, leading with his head, trying to make it seem like he's, like he really, like he really doing something. Like it was nothing exciting about him. There was no showtime with him. So I mean, and for him to say that Jaron Ennis is overrated. Now, this is the same guy. Now, keep in mind, this is the same guy who praised Jaron Ennis when he was doing an interview with Fight Hype. praised Boots, gave him his props. And I'm going to play a little audio from, from that interview that he did. I'm going to play a little bit of that audio, and y'all going to listen to what he's saying about Jaron Ennis. So we're going to jump into this audio real quick.
Moving on from your Thug Thizzle to Jaron Ennis's Thug Thizzle, let's say. What did you think of him last night?
You know what? I'm gonna stay in last night. Last night I saw. What did I say? He had people that I said. They said, Shawn, what you think? I said, he's too much. He's just too much. When you got somebody who is just so intuitive in the ring, so intelligent in the ring, and then got the speed and the quickness, the agility, the power, clearly, the everything to back it up, it's like he's too much. And he was too much for Delorme last night, man. Amazing, man. Amazing.
Now he's speaking in now y'all just heard him give Jaron Ennis all the credit in the world, and this was after the Thomas Delorme fight. Now this is a Thomas Delorme that Terrence Crawford, I believe, stopped in 4 rounds, and Boots knocked him out in 1 round. And you heard Shawn Porter just praise Jaron Ennis, said he's intuitive, he has everything, he can do it all, he can back it up. And he said, and Delorme is not washed up.
There's a piece of me that was a little hyped up on him getting in the ring, you know what I mean? So as soon as the first knockdown happened, it was like Jaron doing Jaron, you know what I mean? And then when the fight ended, I think he earned that, you know what I mean? Delorme's not washed up. Delorme's
not. He look fresh.
Delorme's not over the hill. I think if Delorme had the opportunity, he would have fought.
Now you heard him say Delorme was not washed up, like a lot of people said when Boots beat him, and everybody was only saying that because Bud stopped him in 4 rounds and Boots knocked him out in 1 round. Okay, now you just heard, and even the guy from Fight Hype, he said he looked fresh. He's not over this. Shawn Porter said he wasn't over the hill. He wasn't washed up. So that dispels, all of the rumors about, oh, well, Boots fought this person after this person fought him. Boots fought this person after this person fought him. And again, I know some of y'all might look at it like, oh, man, you just pro Jaron Ennis. No, I'm pro truth. That's what I am. And I said it before and I keep saying it. This is Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Whether we like a fighter or don't like a fighter, we going to give them their credit. But Shawn Porter, now he recently did an interview on his Porterweight podcast and was saying, what did I say? 2 years ago? I said, he's overrated. Now you saying he's overrated. Now you're saying he's overrated. And a lot of people is trying to jump on this bandwagon. And y'all watching this fight with the fight that Boots had with Karen CHUKHADZHIAN. Well, I tell you what, if any of y'all watch Mario Barrios against Abel Ramos, and by the way, Abel Ramos, when he was the WBA champion and Boots was calling Abel Ramos out, they stayed away from him too. And if any of y'all saw Mario Barrios fight, now y'all know why these people declined to fight Boots. And by the way, Suleiman Sissoko is the #1 contender for the WBC title. So how did Abel Ramos get the title shot? And I'm not the only one who felt like that. Roy Jones said the same thing. Salute to Roy. He peep game. He see what's going on. But I guess, you know what I mean, stinky nose Shawn Porter, I guess he don't see what's going on. But see, this is the thing, like, where, listen, I already said this. Like, I feel like Shawn Porter has always been jealous of Jaron Ennis. He's been jealous of, of Boots, of, his skill set, his high in ring, IQ. Boots is athletically gifted. You know, he got cat-like reflexes. Everything that he's able to do, Shawn Porter was not able to do any of these things in a ring. And the fact that Shawn Porter is a one-dimensional fighter. One-dimensional. Now, mind y'all, you know, when he lost to Terrence Crawford, before that fight even happened, and I did the video about that fight, I said in the fight that Terrence Crawford, not only would he beat Shawn Porter, but I also said he would stop Shawn Porter late in the fight. And somebody said, why? And I said, because Shawn Porter can't make adjustments. When it, you know, listen, when it get thick in the ring, he can't make adjustments. What you gonna say? Oh man, he stopped Berto. Berto, as when he fought Shawn Porter, Berto was already, and this is no disrespect to Andre Berto, because Andre Berto was one of my favorite fighters when he first, you know, was working his way up through the pro ranks and all that, because he was actually down with Damon Dash, and so a lot of y'all probably don't even remember that. I was in Atlantic City when he fought on the when Kelly Pavlik beat Jermaine Taylor, and he was on the undercard against Jose Estrada, I think, or David Estrada, I think was who he fought. But Berto, when Porter beat him, Berto was already a shot fighter. Equilibrium, all that stuff was done. But Shawn Porter, just admit that you jealous of Jaron Ennis, because 1 minute you giving him his props, and now you turn around and saying that he's overrated. Boots himself even said, well, listen, if I'm overrated, come out of retirement and prove it. Show me. Y'all think it's a coincidence that all of these top fighters are declining to fight Jaron Ennis? And if you listen, and if y'all want to be realistic about it, the only reason that Shawn Porter was even able, the only thing I would give Shawn Porter credit for is, as far as fight resume, name-wise, yeah, he got bigger names on his resume. I'm not going to say better fighters, but these are fighters who had bigger names. Kell Brook was a good fighter. Terrence Crawford is a good fighter. Yeah, they're good fighters. Keith Thurman, Julio Diaz, come on. Ugas, come on. Ugas, B-, C+. But the only, Danny Garcia was maybe a B+, maybe A-, at one point in his career when he was fighting at 140. But the only reason why on paper it looks like, or it appears that Shawn Porter has a better resume than Jaron Ennis is because he didn't pose no threat to any of these guys. They wasn't scared of anything that he could do in the ring other than him using his head to headbutt people. You see what I'm saying? So this is the difference when when you unfold the whole situation, look at the whole of it. Shawn Porter, you was able to get these guys. You was able to get these fights with Bud, with Errol Spence, with Keith Thurman, with Kell Brook, with Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner, Yordenis Ugas, Paul Malignaggi. You was able to get those names because on paper and them just watching you, you never opposed any type of threat. They wasn't worried about your punching power. You didn't give them anything to be scared of. That's why we'll fight him. But when it come down to Jaron Ennis, why you think they second guessing that? It's a reason. This kid can punch. He can take a punch, but he can punch. He can switch hit. He can hurt you from either side. He got angles. He got all that. Shawn Porter never had any of those things. When he fought, who was it that he fought? Was it Danny? Somebody fought. He did like some fake, like switching thing, like some with these little corny ass feints or whatever he was doing. Like, come on, dude, stop. None of those guys was ever scared of you. That's why those guys signed up to fight you. These guys is not signing up to fight Boots because Look at the risk. They didn't consider you a risk to anything that they were trying to accomplish in their careers. None of these guys looked at you as a risk or a threat to anything that they was trying to accomplish in their career. And honestly, out of most of these fights, probably the best that you looked might have been in the fight against Terrence Crawford before he stopped your ass. Or realistically, if you want to, Bud technically stopped you, but your father stopped you. Your father threw in that damn towel. Your father got up there. And I felt like that you could have finished the fight out. But I don't know if your dad foreseen that, you got dropped twice and, maybe, he was trying to prevent you, getting knocked out completely. So just imagine had you fought Jaron Ennis. You know what the embarrassment would have been. And all that talk about him being overrated, people wouldn't be paying attention to you saying that. Had you fought Boots and he stopped you or knocked you out. And he gave you the opportunity and you declined too. So you yourself even declined to fight Jaron Ennis. Why? Why? And don't say you declined to fight him because he's overrated. No. That interview that you did with Fight Hype, you already said it. He has everything. He can do it all. He's the it factor. So that right there goes to show that what you're saying about him now is just you being jealous and envious of things that you wish that you were able to do athletically and physically in the ring because you're not athletically gifted. You're a one-dimensional basic style fighter. And realistically, people can call you a weight bully for real. Wasn't you fighting at middleweight, I think, in the amateurs? And didn't you have a fight or two or maybe a couple fights at junior middleweight when you turned pro? And then you went down to welterweight. So who's a weight bully? You never oppose no threat. Your skill, your style, you didn't have any power. You still only got 17 knockouts in 31 fights. And you got 4 losses. You got 1 draw with 17 knockouts. And Jaron Ennis is what, 32-0 with 29 knockouts? Okay. And don't tell me that all 29 people he knocked out was people all with weak chins. No, the fact that you got 17 knockouts and you retired, that's telling you that the people that you fought, most of those guys have weak chins. There's no way you're going to knock out 29 people and all of them are shot fighters and they all got weak chins and all that stuff. Come on, man. Just admit that you're jealous and you wish that you were able to do the things in the ring that Jaron Ennis is able to do now, and you couldn't do those things in your prime. Don't try to discredit another fighter simply because you didn't reach, certain apex level. Yeah, you was a 2-time champion. You had the WBC belt. You had the IBF belt. Or are you mad at the fact that Boots got the IBF belt? And he was getting more attention being a champion than you was in your whole entire career. Makes you wonder, right? I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think though. Drop the comments in the comment section below. And tell me, man, do y'all think Shawn Porter, is he hating on Boots? Or am I tripping? Be honest. Am I tripping? But I want y'all to listen to the audio that I played in the beginning and listen to him giving Jaron Ennis his props. And then now you turn around and say he's overrated simply because he went the distance twice in his career. Wow. That's amazing, ain't it? You went the distance, what, 14 times maybe in your career? You got 17 knockouts. You got 31 fights. Nobody said you was overrated when you went the distance. Nobody said you was overrated when you wasn't able to knock certain fighters out. Maidana, hit Adrian Broner with everything. He dropped Broner, but Broner got up and finished. Nobody still said Adrian Broner was overrated. Stop looking for excuses to try to discredit another fighter's accomplishments. Because that's what I feel like you're doing. Because he went the distance twice, like, listen, and you a fighter, so you should know. You can't knock everybody out. You're not gonna knock everybody out. That's just boxing. And a lot of people feel like, oh, because he fought Karen twice, well, one of those times he should have stopped him. Says who? Says who? And for everybody who feel like those 2 times he fought Karen, he should have stopped him, I challenge y'all to, see if y'all can get a fight with Karen and see if y'all can stop him or knock him out. And then y'all gonna see just how hard it is to actually knock somebody out. And Shawn Porter, you of all people should understand that. If you came out of retirement and fought Karen right now, you wouldn't be able to knock him out. I don't care if you fought him 4 or 5 times. And he'd probably beat you 3 out of 4 times, or at least 2 out of 4 times. Karen would beat you. You know better than that, man. Stop it. Well, listen, man, this is all I got for now. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing. And again, drop the comments in the comment section below. Let me know, am I tripping or is Shawn Porter hating?